What is up, everybody? I hope you all are well. So, in this video, I will be giving my recap and reaction of the Tasha K interview that she did with young Pharaoh. And that interview did premiere on her Tasha K Live website. It was, well, let's get into it, right? Let's just get straight to it. So, first, let me recap for the people that didn't watch it. If you did watch it, let me know below. I want to know what you all thought about the interview. If you saw it, did it exceed your expectations? Was it underwhelming? Did you know the information already? Let me know. So basically, at the start of the interview, Tasha's like, Pharaoh, I really didn't want to interview you, but the viewers chose. So she had a poll on her community tab, right? And her viewers wanted her to interview young Pharaoh. So that was kind of interesting to me. Then the interview was about 2 hours long. And in the interview, what did you think young Pharaoh did? Let me know. Basically young Pharaoh just blame shifted. Everything was always someone else's fault. Typical young Pharaoh fashion, very on brand for him. I swear young Pharaoh needs to sit down with a psychotherapist or someone to unpack his issues because he suffers from arrested development, right? He's like a 5-year-old emotionally, I swear. But anyway, so throughout the interview, he talks about Golden, of course. He got to mention Golden wherever he goes. So they talked about this situation where, she broke his statue. And he did actually admit to dragging her. You recall in the video when she was live crying about him dragging her, he was trying to say that's not true. Well, we already knew it was true, but he admitted it in the interview. And Tasha did mention interviewing Golden, but Golden has said on Instagram she's not going to interview with her regarding young Pharaoh. So he also mentioned his interactions with extraterrestrial beings, right? With aliens, that he was abducted by aliens. Now, I just want to say this, preface this, right? In the interview, young Pharaoh he had like the most peculiar look on his face. I don't know if he was on them shrooms. His eyes looked kind of cocked and beady. And it was just he just looked kind of weird. His tongue was out, mouth open the entire interview, even when he wasn't talking. I mean, Tasha even asked him about his tongue, like, what's up with that? So he said that's his swag, that's his brand, right? So back to the extraterrestrial beings. So he said he was abducted by them and like they were applying pressure to his back, like he was laying on his, stomach basically, and they was applying pressure to him. And he was telling them that he can take it. So I don't know if they were like in his anal chakra or if it was back. It was an odd story. Let me know if you believe in being abducted by aliens and extraterrestrial encounters. Let me know about that. So Tasha says she believed that's just all the books that he reads. So she didn't believe the story, right? And again, like I mentioned, he talked about Golden Beauty and he blamed all the black women in his life for all his problems. So he mentioned his aunt. He mentioned his grandmother waved a rifle, a shotgun around. So he was just blaming all the black women in his life and just saying throughout his life, black women have just caused him a lot of grief, right? So that was his sob story. He just said basically he wasn't treated right as a child. And I was proud of Tasha for calling him out because she was like, you notice, I'm paraphrasing here. She was like, I noticed that you never take accountability for everything and you are very narcissistic. And he was like, well, fuck that. He didn't really care, but I'm proud of her for calling that out. We all see it. And young Pharaoh lacks self-awareness. He likes to blame others, and that's really not a healthy way to operate because none of us are perfect. We all have flaws. We all have areas we can improve. But literally everything that happens to him is someone else's fault. And you could see the irritation on Tasha's face throughout the interview. So I know when the interview was done, she had to sage and do some cleansing rituals because he's just like a lot of drama. Pharaoh just brings the drama. And also in this interview, very on brand for Pharaoh, he was calling Golden and her mom the B word. And he was, talking about telling her mom, like, if a woman wants to get with him, they need to tell their parents. I'm like, you're an adult. Why does women need to tell their parents what they doing? Parents don't want to hear about their grown ass children's sex life. That's weird and inappropriate. Can we say boundaries? Hashtag boundaries, y'all. Boundaries. So that was crazy to me. And I'm like, whatever trauma he suffered, like, he's always like telling everybody business, running, telling people parents. Like, he acts like a big kid. And in the interview, Tasha was like, well, Golden is young. She's like 24. And he was saying that's not young, that she's a grown ass woman. But 24 is young. Young Pharaoh is young too. He's not even 30. So there's a lot of life for them both to live and experiences to live. But what irritates me about Pharaoh is that he doesn't ever take accountability for his behavior, for his shortcomings. And he was talking about women not being good parents, but how's your home a good environment for children when you have all these women around, all this shrooms and weed smoke? Like, that's not a good environment for children. So he should consider his own parenting as well. So let me see if there's anything else I want to address. That's pretty much summarizes the interview. And I know you're probably wondering, did this interview live up to the hype? Because, I was like, oh shit, Tasha K is going to be interviewing young Pharaoh. This is going to be good. Now, it was a good interview, so shouts out to Tasha K. But would I say I learned something new about Pharaoh? No. If you're familiar with this channel, we've been following young Pharaoh's reality show Like Life. I have a playlist on this channel called Keeping Up with the Ottens. We've been documenting all of his shenanigans and foolery from probably since him and Golden had the big fallout online. So if you want to go take a look, if you want to catch up, that playlist is there for you. So for me and a lot of the people that view this channel, we didn't really learn anything that we didn't know about Pharaoh, right? So it was cool interview, but I didn't learn anything new. And I've been following him for a while, so I'm familiar with young Pharaoh from when he was like on top. Like last year, he had the Trumpers, or whatever you want to call them. Thus, he was talking about pushing people to vote for 45 again. All those things to like where he is now, being canceled by CPAC, all that stuff. And they did briefly touch on that. They also briefly touched on Umar Johnson because he even mentioned, y'all remember when Umar called him like a dirty little nigga or whatever? So he mentioned that he was saying that Umar and Seti had beef. He didn't have any beef with Umar, so he don't know why he would even say that about him. But again, it wasn't anything that I didn't know. It was interesting because I find young Pharaoh to be an interesting person, just the behavior, just to see what he will do next, who he will blame next. So that's pretty much my assessment of it. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you all. If you watched it, let me know what you think in the comments below. And I just want to say, if you love like dissecting the Hotepians, like to talk about dating, relationships, and just current events in the real world, subscribe to this channel because that's what we do over here. But again, let me know in the comments what you thought about the interview. Did it live up to the hype? Now, I will say, before I go, Tasha K, she was trying to end excuse me, she was trying to end the interview. And Pharaoh is very long-winded, right? So it was funny, her expression. She was like, dude, please shut up. But they're supposed to be doing another part of the interview. So we'll see. Now, do y'all think Golden will cave in and actually speak her part to Tasha K? Because as of now, she's like, I'm not going to interview with her. And I think we pretty much know what's going on. I know Pharaoh was like, you need to see Golden's phone. Or he was like, no, look at my phone. Look at the text messages. He was basically saying that she's not the sweet young woman that we think she is. But look who she's dealing with. You got to have a gutter with it in you to deal with that foolery. So that's it. I don't want to keep out too long, but I did just want to share because I know a lot of us were anticipating this interview. So that's all I have. Again, drop your comments and thoughts below and we can continue the conversation there. Thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate you all. And until the next upload later, you all stay safe out there. Thanks again for watching. Oh, one more thing before I go. I just remembered. He also mentioned Elder Baba Rasan. You know that old man? He makes content on YouTube. He doesn't have any teeth and he's always criticizing somebody. So he mentioned him. That's funny to me because him and this old man, they have a true beef. That old man, anytime that old man has a reason to go in on Pharaoh, no shade, Elder. Anytime he has a reason going on young Pharaoh, he does it. Like he cannot stand young Pharaoh. And the young Pharaoh used to talk about all the roaches he had. So I just want to add that. I'm gone for real this time. Thanks for watching, y'all. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you.